before we start, for those who don't know me, my name is Dulce Maria. I'm a board certified holistic nutritionist. I work here at Kyra Care, and we actually, what we like to do always with our patients is that they feel comfortable because we love to work with people and we want to help them. We want to help our patients here. And that's why we are hosting these events. Every single month, we have a free webinar, a free workshop. It's actually not too long. And at the end of the call, we open the microphones. I open the microphones in case you guys want to ask me any questions. But during the presentation, you can also throw your questions on the chat, and that's perfect. And okay, let's start. We're gonna talk about hormones, imbalance, sleep, sugar, and stress. Okay, those magical words, right? So welcome everyone. Oh, I see more people joining. Perfect. Welcome, Alicia. So today we're going to talk about something that affects every single part of our health, which are hormones. When people hear the word hormones, they often think only about puberty, fertility, menopause, perimenopause, postmenopause, right? But the truth is, hormones are chemical messengers that keep our entire body running smoothly. Think about the hormones at any time, at any age. Doesn't matter if you are 15, 35, 50, 85, you're gonna have hormones. Scientists have identified more than 50 different hormones in a human body. Each one has a specific job. Some of them regulate growth, some regulate appetite, others regulate mood, sleep, blood sugar, stress, and reproduction, of course. Here are some examples of hormones. Oh, more people are joining. Welcome, welcome. For example, insulin helps control blood sugar. Cortisol is a stress hormone that regulates how we feel, our mood. Melatonin regulates sleep. Leptin, it's another hormone. Leptin works with ghrelin, and those regulate hunger and fullness. Have you heard about GLP-1s? GLP-1? Okay, of course you have, right? Because GLPs are very like in trend these days, but GLP-1, it's a type of hormone as well that we produce in our intestines, in our bodies. Estrogen, testosterone regulate reproduction, mood, muscle. Thyroid hormones control metabolism and energy. And when hormones are imbalanced, we feel energized, we recover faster, we think clearly, and we can maintain a healthy weight more easily. But when they are out of balance, even a little bit, we might notice things in our bodies like poor sleep, sugar cravings. A lot of sugar cravings. It's normal that we have cravings, of course, but like very not normal. So we feel that this is too much. Irritability, stubborn, fat, belly fat, especially around the belly area, that we start keeping a lot of fat, mood swings, and low energy, or we cannot sleep, or we are waking up in the middle of the night and then we cannot go back to sleep. And so in today's talk, we'll focus on three key areas, which are sleep, sugar, and stress. These three are deeply connected and form a cycle. Poor sleep makes us crave sugar, for example. Too much sugar worsens our stress response, and chronic stress disrupts sleep. So if we don't break that cycle, it becomes very hard to feel good and stay healthy. So my goal today is to help you understand these connections and leave you with practical tools you can use starting tonight. Okay, there are more people joining. I'm so happy. So let's go for it. So let's talk about sleep. Sleep is not just rest. It's a foundation, my friends, of hormone balance. While we sleep, our body repairs tissues, resets our brain, and regulates key hormones like cortisol, insulin, leptin, and melatonin. I don't know if you guys have heard about this guy called, his name is Brian Johnson. So it's a tech guy who made a lot of money selling an app. And then when he made all this amount of money, he decided to found a new company, to become a CEO of a company that he says that he is not going to die. So he's going to be eternal, according to him. I don't know. He's not going to die. So he is trying to rejuvenate his body as much as possible. Nowadays, he's like 50 years old, but biologically, biology, I don't know how to pronounce that. Biologically, he is, I think nowadays 20 something years old. Okay. But one of the things that he says, even if you don't have access to all those tools that he's using to make himself juvenile and younger, the only thing that you can focus your attention that is going to keep your longevity is on sleep. So at least we can learn that from him. So when we don't sleep enough, or when the quality of the sleep is poor, our hormones shift in the wrong direction. Cortisol, the stress hormone, stays elevated. Of course, we need cortisol in the morning, and it needs to be elevated in the morning. But
Oh,
sometimes when our body doesn't recover enough during the night, what happens is that it keeps elevated, and sometimes it's not elevated in the morning, but it starts racing during the day. And when it's night, or when it's time to start producing melatonin, we cannot do it because cortisol is elevated. That's why we need to pay attention on a good quality sleep. Cortisol, our stress hormone, stays elevated. Also, ghrelin, our hunger hormone, increases, while leptin, our satiety hormone, decreases. That means poor sleep makes us hungrier and less satisfied, even when we eat more food. I don't know that if you notice that when you have a poor sleep, then you feel hunger during the day, especially for sugar. So lack of sleep also affects insulin sensitivity. Just one night of only 4 hours of sleep can make a healthy person's body behave like a pre-diabetic the next day. And that's how powerful sleep is. By the way, sometimes I'm wearing those continuous glucose monitors just to see in myself how my glucose is responding depending on certain foods that I'm taking or I'm eating. So when I don't sleep, even when I eat a little bit of fruit or a little bit of rice or any carb, my glucose spikes to the roof. And that is because I didn't sleep. And it's not because I'm pre-diabetic or because I have insulin resistance at all. It's because I didn't sleep. So if you don't sleep, you become pre-diabetic or insulin resistance during that specific day that you didn't sleep. So what can we do? First, prioritize 7 to 9 hours of consistent sleep. I totally understand, and this is true. This is real. Some people can get away with 6 hours, 6.5 hours of sleep. Those are rare people. Those are one in a million, or one in every, I don't know, 1,000 people, but it's not common. If you feel rested after 6 hours of sleep, that means, and you've been doing that all your life and you're perfectly fine, that means that you are that type of people that get away with less than 7 hours of sleep. But if you don't feel rested, that means that you need to pay attention. So go to bed if possible around the same time. But the most important part to fix your sleep is to wake up at the same time every single day. That will fix your sleep even better. Also, avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. If you're very sensitive, I would say after 12 p.m. No more caffeine, no more tea, because tea has caffeine, especially, of course, black tea and green tea. So avoid those. Just have herbal teas. Those are perfect, and even they are going to help you to have a restful sleep. And avoid screens at least 1 hour before bed. I know that we love our iPhones, our phones, but they are not designed to help us to sleep. They are actually designed to make us and keep us awake. The earlier part of the night gives us the deepest, most restorative sleep. So if you go to bed, I don't know, after 11, 12, probably you're not going to have enough restful sleep. So think of sleep as free medicine for your hormones. Let's go to the next. Now, let's talk about sugar. Yes, we need glucose for energy. That is a fact. It fuels our brain, our muscle, and almost every cell in the body. But the way we eat sugar today is very different from how our body is designed to handle it, right? When we eat refined sugar, for example, or too many processed carbs, or too many carbs in general, our blood sugar spikes quickly. In response, the pancreas, this beautiful organ, releases insulin, and the hormone that helps move glucose into cells is insulin. If this happens occasionally, the body can handle it. But if it happens all the time, several times a day, like when we drink sodas, eat pastries, snacks constantly, even when we're snacking here and there, so our glucose is spiking all day long, insulin stays elevated as well. There are more people joining, welcome. So over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, weight gain, and fatigue. And here's the connection. High sugar intake affects cortisol as well. As I mentioned at the beginning, not, not every hormone works independently. Each hormone is connected with another hormones, or all the hormones works together as a orchestra, as a symphony. Every time blood sugar crashes after a spike, for example, the body releases cortisol and bring it back up. That's why after a sugar breakfast or a sugary breakfast, you may feel tired, moody, and craving more sugar by morning. So what is the solution? The solution, my friends, is not zero carbs, as many people think. Oh, I'm just gonna go for the keto diet, or I'm just gonna start doing carnivore for the rest of the day. That is okay as long as it's therapeutic and you go hand by hand with a personal coach or with a dietitian or nutritionist or somebody, a naturopath doctor who helps you to how to integrate this type of diet into your daily life for a period of time. But I wouldn't say that that is recommendable for, or it's not even sustainable, right? So it's choosing smarter carbs and balancing them with protein and fiber. For example, instead of a pastry and coffee in the morning or cereal and milk, you can have something more thoughtful, like Greek yogurt with berries and nuts and flaxseed. Then you're gonna have protein first with complex carbs, good fats, and a lot of fiber. So if you combine those components in your diet, you're gonna feel way much better and you're gonna help out all your hormones at the same time. Or instead of a white rice alone, pair it with salmon and vegetables. Think about stabilizing your blood sugar as a way of keeping your hormones calm and steady. So food. That's why you pay attention in the right macronutrient intake, you're gonna feel way much better. Remember, half of your plate needs to be full of vegetable. Your quarter is your protein and your quarter is your carbohydrate, and always pair it with a small amount of healthy fat. And let's talk about stress. Stress is not the enemy. We need a little stress. It's part of survival. It's part of being a human, right? Cortisol, our main stress hormone, helps us wake up, give us energy, and handle challenges, and even reduces inflammation when used correctly. The problem is when stress becomes chronic, when cortisol stays high, and adrenaline is another hormone that helps cortisol to stay elevated. So we are producing a lot of adrenaline all day long. So cortisol will stay elevated and it throws other hormones out of balance. It can suppress melatonin, make it harder to fall asleep. It can increase cravings for sugar as well, because your body thinks it needs quick fuel to go and fight or flight. It can also raise belly fat storage, especially around midsection. Chronic stress is like keeping your foot on the gas pedal all day. You'll eventually burn out. That's why stress management is not just about feeling calmer. It's about protecting your hormones and your metabolism and your long-term health. So simple practices make a big difference. First, this is what I recommend to everyone every single day. Daily movement, like just walking, go for a walk after meals. After you have breakfast, go for a quick 10-minute walk. After you have lunch, go for another 15-minute walk. What else? Breathing exercises. There is no, okay, so there is our nervous system, okay, and is connected with our digestion. So the part of our nervous system that is help us to fight or flight is the sympathetic nervous system. And the parasympathetic is the rest and digest. So if we are in the sympathetic all the time, we cannot digest our food properly. There's no way. There is no connection. So the only way to digest our food is when we sit in the table and we breathe first. If you have this beautiful practice of being grateful before every meal, is the best practice you can ever have. whether you are religious or not, whether you're spiritual or you're not. As long as you feel grateful for what you're gonna obtain in your meals, you're gonna connect your body into the parasympathetic, and the rest and digest system is gonna start working. So just that little 1 minute before you start eating, keep that in mind. What else? Breathing exercises, prayer, meditation, journaling, spending time in nature. Just go for a walk. Even 10 minutes a day can lower cortisol, improve sleep. Remember, stress is unavoidable. That's a fact. But how we respond makes the difference, makes a huge difference. So let's put that all together. How do we bring sleep, sugar, and stress into balance? Think of it as a triangle. Each side supports the others. So if you sleep better, you'll crave less sugar and handle stress more effectively. If you eat balanced meals, your blood sugar stays steady, which keep stress hormones stable and helps your sleep better. And if you manage stress, you reduce late night cortisol spikes, making sleep deeper and reducing sugar cravings. So a practical action plan looks like this. Number one, protect your sleep like you protect your phone battery. Charge yourself every night within 7 to 9 hours of sleep a day. So phones are off and forget about the screens at least 1 hour before going to bed. Make your bedroom as a cave, darker as possible, a little bit cold as possible, if possible, because we cannot sleep well if it's too warm, and light dinner. Don't eat dinner and then go to sleep. I would recommend at least 3 hours, 3 to 2 hours maximum before going to bed, and go for a walk, a light walk before going to bed as well. Not before going to bed, but after dinner. That is going to help you to sleep better as well, because you're not going to be digesting your food during sleep. Balance your plate. Again, this is a formula: protein, fiber, and healthy fats in every single meal. If you're going to choose a carbohydrate, remember, carbs are not the enemy, just portion control and complex carbs like sweet potato, brown rice, quinoa. What else do you guys like? Oh, beans. I like beans. I like to recommend beans as a source of carbohydrate because they also contain a little bit of protein and fiber and minerals compared to rice. Rice barely has minerals and vitamins, and it could contain a little bit of arsenic if you don't cook it in the right way. Um, Also, build stress buffers into your day. 10 minutes of deep breathing, a short walk after meals, or even simply unplugging for a while. These small, consistent choices are what create long-term hormone balance. And when hormones are balanced, you don't just feel better, you live with more energy, clarity, and resilience. So thank you for being here. I hope you take at least one of these tools into your daily life. Your hormones will thank you, and your future self will too. And I know that some people arrived a little bit not early, a little bit late. So, but if you have any questions, you can put it on the chat, or you can unmute yourself or raise your hand. And also remember that you can also schedule a 15-minute Discover consultation with us in case you guys want to work with me or with any of the naturopath doctors that works here at ChyraCare. We work virtually, and we also work in person for those who live in San Diego. And by the way, next month we are hosting a wonderful wellness day, fall into wellness. No, wellness into fall. That is the name of our event next month here at ChyraCare. It's going to be November 19 at 5:30 p.m. And it's going to be in-person event. In case you guys want to come, you're more than welcome to do it if you live in San Diego. If not, we can always work virtually. If you are interested, you can schedule a discovery consultation. Here is our number. And yeah, we can schedule with you. Does anyone have questions? Let me see on the chat, or you can, okay, Kathy, you can unmute yourself now. Okay. I already asked you to unmute. No, I can't hear you yet. You're still on mute. No? Yes.
Did it
There
work
you
now?
are. I hear you now.
There you go. I'm on my phone. I don't have that many choices. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. I just had a question. You'd mentioned instead of having cereal and milk, like I have Cheerios and milk in the morning, and you said not to do that, but instead have the yogurt, the berry, and the nuts and the flaxseed. And why is cereal like Cheerios not good to have and milk not good to have in the morning?
that is a great question, Kathy.
Mhm.
So the thing with cereal or processed cereal, because a cereal, by definition, it's oats, it's rice, is corn. That is a definition of cereal. But what we have or what we found in a box is a processed cereal. So they make it powder. They powder the cereal, like let's say the Cheerios. So they make an oat into a powder. They convert it into a powder, and then they put it in a box, and they combine other additives like sometimes sugar, sometimes honey, sometimes preservatives and things that we don't want into our bodies. And once it's processed and it's ultra processed, it is converted into sugar in our bodies very quick. So it will spike our sugar, blood sugar, and then our pancreas will release more insulin than we should need. So when
Oh,
we compare a complete protein with fiber, like wholemeal, fiber and fruit that contains full fiber and with protein and a little bit of nuts and seeds that pairs with healthy fats, that is going to help us to manage our blood glucose and it won't spike so quick and so high. So that would be my answer for you, Kathy.
oh, that's wonderful, Dorothy. Thank you so much. That makes perfect sense. I'm gonna start that way. Thank you.
Anything you
I
need.
would, hi, Dulce. I would recommend that the flax seeds it be milled, right? It can't, they shouldn't be whole.
Yes, it is more absorbable and it will help us with digestion. I just had a patient today who is having a lot of problems with digestion, and I recommended to her flaxseed. So it's grounded flaxseed. You can buy it. I don't know, Sprouts, Whole Foods, any supermarket they have grounded flaxseed. But my recommendation would be that you store it when you store it in cold place, or sometimes I just put it in the fridge. It's even better because since we are talking about a fat, it could get oxidized. And if it becomes rancid, it's not good for our bodies. So that is great, Annette. Good observation.
Oh, thank you. I refrigerate mine and I also get organic. It's just the best. And I do get the Sprouts. Sprouts has a really good one and it's not that expensive. It's worth it. I wish Costco was carrying it, but they don't because it's a bigger bag. I have a question about at the beginning you talked about hormones and you talked about I think you said GRBs or something like that.
Chia
Well,
seeds? Did I say chia seeds?
no, GRBs, hormones. It's
Oh,
you add
GLP-1. Okay, so I'm sure everybody has heard about, oh, take GLP-1s or inject yourself with GLP-1 in order to lose weight. So those are a type of hormones that our body produces when we eat. So after each meal, after we eat, our intestines produce GLP-1. It's a type of hormone that makes us feel satiated and full. But what does GLP-1s do is that they stay for longer in the body, so we feel satiated for longer, for hours and hours, so we don't have appetite. But that is external GLP-1s, and we don't work with those here in the clinic, of course. But it's a type of hormone, like insulin, like
yeah, and I had saw it on Instagram and I was like skeptic myself. So I'm glad you cleared that up because I think a lot of they were encouraging women to, take it. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Annette. Are you coming to our in-person event, Annette, by the way?
I just heard it. Are you going to send out a flyer on the website like you send us out a reminder for the webinars?
I will, definitely. This is going to be in
Oh,
person.
what
And
what day is it going to be?
19, November 19 at
Is
5.
that on a Saturday?
It is on a Wednesday. It's 5:30
Oh,
p.m. We're gonna do it in the afternoon in order for people they have enough time to come.
okay. What do we bring? Are we bringing something or just ourselves?
Just yourself and your
Okay.
friends.
And what is it about? I know I have friends that have joined in, so thank you girls for joining in.
Thank you, girls. Thank
What
you.
is it about?
Hmm?
What is it about the event?
Oh, the event. So we are going to have a wellness day here. I'm going to talk about, of course, nutrition, but we also have other topics. So Dr. Ramos is going to give a talk. I think the other doctors, Dr. Mari, Dr. Bianca also, and we are partnering with Dr. Liz and Lindsay from Woven Light chiropractors as well. So they're gonna be here, and it's gonna be like a whole day, and we're gonna have activities and light snacks. So yeah, it's gonna be a
Oh, I will be there. Thank you.
yay. Oh, Angie Orozco. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to mute. I can't eat chia seeds. I get constipated. Yeah, some people get constipated because probably there are some reasons why. First, your gut is not used to it. So start with little. And the way to introduce chia seeds is make sure that you pre-hydrate them overnight. So the night before you eat them, have 1 teaspoon, just start with 1 teaspoon and add a little bit of water to make the gel. So to bring the gel out, so once you have the gel, you can combine it with something else. Could be yogurt. So Kathy, that's another option. If you don't want flax seeds, you can add chia seeds, and then you can start adding more and more. I wouldn't recommend more than 2 tablespoons of chia seeds because it also makes a contrary job. So we get constipated.
Okay.
And if you combine 1 tablespoon of chia seeds and 1 tablespoon of flaxseed, it's great for digestion. And also if you get constipated, Angie, something else I recommend, drink more water and kiwi, but with the skin on. I know it sounds weird, but try it. Just a little bit of the skin, leave the skin on, and you can chop it and you won't feel it. You can start with the golden kiwis that don't have a little hairy, like, I don't know, like 40. But kiwi is great. Kiwi. I just saw Dr. Bianca earlier today, and she had a kiwi on her desk, and I told her, "Are you gonna eat it all?" And she was like, "How?" Yes, just like eat the whole kiwi. That's helping so many of my patients with constipation. Okay. Oh, Angie, I don't wait. I do wait for the gel. No wonder. Why didn't know that hairy little thing? Yeah, the hairy little thing. Does anyone have questions? Oh, okay. Sonsere. So what are your thoughts on fasting? Okay, I have my thoughts, of course. I would say there is not one formula and just a way for fasting for everyone. It depends. It depends on the stage of your life, how much stress you have at this time of your life, because fasting is another stressor. It's another you're putting more stress into your body. So if you have a lot of stress in your life, in your daily life, and then you put on the top of that, you're fasting and you're doing long fasting, like 16, 18 hours. Some people are just eating once a day and they having a really stressful life. It's not gonna work for you. It's gonna make your hormones crazy. So it depends. And also, if you're in perimenopause and your hormones are fluctuating all over the place, because that is normal. After 35, we start perimenopause. So sometimes, some months we have an increase in estrogens. And if you're putting a lot of stress, and on top of that, you're putting another stressor, which is fasting, it's also not good for you. I would say light fasting, like 12 hours, is just normal. We are giving our digestion a good amount of time to keep in rest and enough time to rest. That's good. But over 12 hours, I would say work with a professional. And some people can go all the way to 14, 16 hours and no problems, but some people are over fasting. It could be therapeutic, but make sure that you're doing correctly. That's why it depends. And I know that the majority of people are waiting for just one type of response, or this is what I think about fasting, good or bad, but no, it depends. I'm so sorry that I'm not responding, but I would need to talk with you and see what are your objectives and how is your life, how old are you, and what is your situation. Does anyone have more questions? No more questions. Remember that if you don't speak English and if you are here and you want to ask your questions in Spanish, I can also respond in Spanish or French.
This is on YouTube, right?
I'm gonna upload it on YouTube. Yes, to YouTube. I will.
Okay.
And remember,
Thank you.
English is not my first language. So if I'm making mistakes, let me know. Dulce, you said this incorrectly. Okay. I appreciate your corrections, Kathy.
Yeah, we love you. I can understand you clearly.
That's good. That's good. Any other questions? Okay, no. Okay, thank you, Bianca. And thank you everyone else for joining. Thank you, Annette, Kathy, for all your questions. Danielle, who else joined? And
Angie.
Sherry, and everyone else. Those are the names that I saw here. Okay, I'm gonna upload it on YouTube probably tomorrow. Remember, we're here to help you, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. See you next month.
See you next month. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.